just kind of that burst right before halftime, how important was that in a game like this that was so low scoring going 9?
Yeah, anytime you could, put a stretch together scoring in a game like this, it's going to benefit you. I thought their inability to score the start of the second half and our ability to increase the lead at the end of the first half was really was big, especially how we played in that last 4 or 5 minutes of the game. We didn't give ourselves a chance. We fouled on free throws. We gave up offensive rebounds. We had a flagrant foul. We couldn't pass and catch a couple times, and so they got the game closer than it really needed to be. But those two stretches right there was, I thought were key in the game.
Matt, we know over the years, throughout the time here, this is one of the best rivalries in college basketball when you think about it. That is 7 straight for your team now against IU. What does it say about your program, about your players, and how important this game is to them?
Yeah, anytime you can play, your rival and compete and win, it's a big accomplishment. We've been able to string some games together, but it's the game's cyclical. It just is. We've also lost 4 or 5 times straight to IU before. Before that, we won 4 or 5 times straight. So things, they go in cycles, and it happens. And we've actually, been on the uptick, with this one. But things can change quickly, and so you have to stay grounded and stay humble and just try to move to your next game. But proud of our guys. It's hard to win in Assembly Hall. It's hard to win this game, but obviously you have an advantage. Whenever you're at home, and that gives you a little bit of an advantage, but it doesn't guarantee anything.
Coach, it's the lowest shooting percentage by IU in 6 years. What were you?
In 6 years?
Yep. Since 2014. And
cool.
What was clicking defensively tonight?
Just trying to make it hard. We have a lot of respect for Trace Jackson Davis. He's a fabulous player. Why other people don't double him, I don't know. But we are going to double him. And so I recruited him, spent a lot of time trying to get him. Obviously, didn't do a very good job of that. But I've watched him play a lot and have a lot of respect for him. And just trying to make somebody else beat us, to be frank with you, just to be even. They have good, perimeter players, and we thought if we could have good rotations out of the double. You saw where they made a couple passes early, and then we fouled, I think, one time with Brunk on a big-to-big pass where we had a little bit of a breakdown away from the ball. But we wanted just to clog things up and not let him get going. And that he was really our focal point. And then at the end, just taking up Devontae Green, his space, making him shoot tough shots. We thought if he could make 1 or 2, that gets him going to where he makes 5 or 6, or he misses 5 or 6. He's just a streaky player. And we've dealt with streaky guys that are on our team, and sometimes those makes hurt you, and sometimes those makes help you. But that's really what we were trying to do. And then not let Al Durham be a part of the game. Once again, he wasn't a part of the game, and really Green wasn't a part of the game, even though he has 11, but he did on 15 shots, and he's 3 for 14, and he has 4 turnovers, and Al Durham has 3 turnovers and in 2 points. So neither one of those guys were a part of the game there or here. So we wanted to double Trace, and we wanted to make it really hard on those two, and not giving anything to anybody else, but kind of let the chips fall where they may. And it's really the first time for us. We've struggled, we've been inconsistent from an offensive standpoint. And can we beat a good team when we don't shoot well or play well? And I thought we played a little bit better today. Obviously, we didn't shoot well, and sometimes people confuse the two. But I thought it was a good grinded out win, even though it was pretty hard to watch. But you guys are getting paid watching it, so you're doing a job. You had to be here.
Not well enough, though.
There you go. A couple of you guys are here on your own.
You obviously mentioned doubling Trace in the post double there,
yes.
But obviously before you guys actually even had double, it seemed like you guys did a good job of just denying the post to start with,
right.
Getting good sort of initial post defense there. Just what impressed you about your guys, your post
yeah.
defense? Just
You get into it because it's just not something that we just do when we play Indiana, like Jalen Smith and Otero and Garza, it's just like it's unbelievable. And we have such good big guys in our league, but sometimes with those guys is that we get enamored with our double team instead of getting enamored with our post defense. So I thought we did a better job today of playing post. We just didn't want to double the whole game. We wanted to knock some things out, make it hard for him to catch it, play post defense, but also make it hard. Like we doubled all their big guys. So we didn't until the end where we played big for a couple of defensive possessions, and then we allowed Race Thompson to be one-on-one for like a possession. I still think, just trying to make them pass out of double teams, and then that was going to help us. But I thought our post defense was good tonight, and we had some good quick doubles. And that's when you play big. They keep their guys closer to you. When you stretch it out, it's a little bit harder, to do. And so you're just kind of picking your poison. The way the game started, it looked like it was going to go the other way just because of their ability to offensive rebound.
Mm-hmm.
They were so good to start the game offensive rebounds, and we couldn't keep them off the glass. So now that makes me think even though we're doubling them, they're getting a lot of opportunities, and we're just fortunate they didn't make us pay on some of those offensive rebounds to start the game.
What changed in your rebounding after the first probably 7 or 8 minutes?
I just thought our effort, Indiana's effort was better than ours, and I thought it was really good after that 8-minute mark up until the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game. We gave up some offensive rebounds at that time, so I just thought our guys' ability to go get the basketball and battle against them and trying to hit them. Obviously, it's hard to watch the discipline or the lack thereof of boxing out during a game. It's hard because you watch the ball a lot. You watch the ball, you watch your action, you watch away from it. And so now it's hard to see 4 to 5 guys actually boxing out. And then all of a sudden they get the ball and you always assume it's his man who didn't box out. But then once you go back and watch tape, you realize sometimes it is, but other times it's not because he had to go over and help, and you get into a rotation. So you just try to work on those things and try to rebound out of those rotations.
Is there any particular reason a few of these games between Purdue and Indiana that they have been so ugly?
I have no idea. We've had other ugly
personnel
games.
or the way you defend.
We've had other ugly games outside of playing Indiana. We've proven that one. But that's part of basketball. Anytime you get into conference and you're playing in February and March, games normally get a little bit more grimy than they do earlier in the season because it means so much. The younger guys have realized how important it is to play hard and do your job and carry out your assignment. So you get lower scoring games as they go on. It's just the way it is, especially against quality opponents because we know each other. You know each other's tendencies. You've already played once. You watch every game on TV. So, but no, I just think it was one of those grinded out type games. So we're fortunate. It's a big piece of improvement when your offense doesn't play well and you can still win a game.
Coach, can you talk about the offensive boost that Trey and Eric gave you? Obviously, your point guard had 17 and 7 tonight, so that's kind of a rare stat line.
Right. No, Eric did a good job rebounding. I thought he was active, made some plays for us, even though a handful of times in transition, we lost our mind with some of our decisions. But I thought Eric Hunter played a really good game. Travion had a couple of those. He's 8 for 17, but a couple of those misses. He got back and scored the basketball. But just having a place to go with the basketball, especially when you have some struggles, you still have to have a place to go with it. And Travion's post-ups, a lot of people will double him, and then he's passed so well that people stay away from it. And it really opens up some 3 opportunities when people double us because he's such a good passer. So I thought both those guys played well, did some good things.
Obviously, no secret the position you guys are in when it comes to the postseason here down the stretch. What did you sense was the urgency and desperation maybe your players felt heading into this game? Because it just seemed like it translated on the floor with performances like Eric and Keon had.
Yeah, you're trying to play well. I didn't think our effort was very good against Michigan, and that game's important. That game's really important. And it was just unfortunate. Sometimes there's a lot of variables that go into things in terms of how you play collectively. And I just thought our edge was better tonight. Our attention to detail was better defensively. I don't think our execution was great, but we also had some good looks from the perimeter. I think they didn't go down, but I think they could say the same thing also. So we just have to be better together, and we get fragmented defensively when we break down. We still had breakdowns tonight. We still had some things that we were trying to do against them. We had a couple guys make some mistakes that got them out of the game, but I wish I could have played them. And so we still aren't on top of things. We were fortunate that a couple of those shots didn't go down when Indiana was open. But that we could say the same thing on our end. We had some pretty good looks. But just trying to be better and understand the opportunity. You're so fortunate to be in this opportunity when you keep playing people that are going to go to the NCAA tournament. I know they're not a lock to go to the NCAA tournament, but they take care of the business at home. They will. They've done enough, in my opinion, which means nothing. Absolutely. Just like your opinion about that. Anybody's opinion in this room doesn't mean anything. But I think they will. They take care of their business at home. I don't think we're in that position. And so, we got to win, a road game, we got to win a home game, we got to go to the tournament, probably win games. Not probably, we do. So that's just the position, that's the feel that I have for where we are. But it's such a great thing to be in this league, the way we've scheduled and went to 20 games, because now it takes care of everybody. It's harder, but it's better. We were at 16 games when I first came into the league, and 5.5 teams went to the NCAA tournament. Then we went to 18 games, and then 6.5 teams went to the NCAA tournament. Now we're at 20 games, 8 went last year. At the worst, our league's gonna get 9, but we could get 10 or 11. And that'd be a cool thing for our league, but we gotta keep doing it. We gotta keep scheduling up. It's hard. It's hard because every time you turn your corner, you just wanna win sitting there on your schedule. Like, hey, let's get this. We're gonna beat it, and you don't have that in our league anymore. You don't have it at all, but that's what makes it beautiful. And that's what people wanna see. That's what you wanna cover. More than anything, fans wanna see, great games over and over and over. And we've been able to do that in our league. I think that's pretty neat.
Dave and then Mike.
So all of that said, now, is this one of those games that can get you guys going, or?
I hope so. Yeah, when we've been inconsistent, but the one thing about being inconsistent is you had to play well to get that tag. You know what I mean? If you don't do that, you're just a bad team. But we've been able to beat Virginia, beat Michigan State, beat Wisconsin, beat Iowa, beat Indiana twice, beat Minnesota in a close game. Here. So, we won on the road at Northwestern, we won on the road in Indiana, we won on the road at Ohio. And so, we've won, and then you guys look at that, but go find out how many high major teams went to play a game on the road in the MAC. You don't see it, but we were able to do that and get that win. And so all those experiences, you hope to get that level of consistency, and we just haven't. But now you're still trying. You never give up. You never give up from that. And so that answer really lies in how we play at Iowa and how we play against Rutgers, because we've been here. We won 3 in a row when we won at Assembly Hall. Then we lost 4 in a row. And so, winning a game doesn't, you haven't arrived. Obviously, you played well in a game. Now, can you play well at this time of the year and back-to-back games and hopefully string something together? Time will tell. We've proven we have it to do it, but we got to be able to do it for a 2-3 week period here.
Mike, last one.
Along that same line, you mentioned a minute ago how the game changes. Has this season been a vivid example of that? And how challenging is it when you're zigzagging to keep going forward?
Yeah, it's part of your job. It's like when people say, it's hard to figure out your team. Well, that is my responsibility. I'm the coach. People say, well, you guys didn't play hard the other night. Well, that's first and foremost my responsibility if we don't play hard enough. So to me, I try to, look within and see what I can do. I don't want to change the change. There's staples in the game that aren't going to change. Your effort and your attitude and your ability to rebound and take care of the basketball, those things aren't changing. You have to do those things. You have to be that way. You have to be positive about stuff. And I remain positive as long as their effort's great. I'm not real positive if somebody's going to outplay you or outscrap you. I get a little sideways. So that to me is it's a kind of a non-negotiable, and it's one of those things at Purdue is what we've hung our hat on. Sometimes we might not get this guy or get that guy. Doesn't mean we can't beat those teams. We can still play well together. And I think Butler through the years has proven that. I think Wisconsin through the years has proven that. And I think we've proven that. But at the end of the day, you can't rest on what's happened before. You got to take your team and mold them, and so hopefully we can piece those things together. And like I said earlier, we're in a great position, with all the opportunities.
Is there anything else?
I have a quick one.
I should stay all night, Dustin.
Where do you gotta be? Just quick last thing.
That was a bad question.
What's that?
Compared to this, that's a lot of good answers.
You actually mentioned the Virginia one. It seems like this team, and I might be off on this, but when it has to do one really big thing to win a game, when there's one central focus, it seems to get it done. Am I right on that, number one? And what is it about this team that if it has one key thing to focus on?
I think we've played well in some big games, but I also think we've struggled in big games. Mm-hmm. And your preparation's always good. You always do your job. If this is a celebration for those guys, we're in trouble. This isn't a celebration. Mm-hmm. You move to the next game. You take a day off, you practice a couple days, and you get ready to play your next game. So that's where it lies. You don't ever give in or change your routine in terms of your preparation. You do everything in your power. If you played well tonight, you go up and watch film individually, you played poorly. You have to have that mindset of improvement and getting better. And so that's all we try to really emphasize. Each guy's a little bit different in terms of their experiences. And so, but by the end of the year, You know, we play one defense. Like, it's not hard. It really isn't. It's hard to beat people, but you have to know what you're doing. Let them beat us when we stick together and do what we're supposed to. You know, if they beat us that way, then they beat us that way, then I got to make a change. And so I think that's the most important thing, is just that preparation.
One more, Dustin?
Sure.
I'm done now, I'm good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, Mike, you're cut off. Never got on. Are we on Monday then? Yes.
I'll meet you out there.